Extreme Anime Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to the month of December, and welcome to another installment of the Extreme Anime Radio podcast. December 3rd, 2025. We apologize for coming on a little late this evening. I am JR, and he is Neff Canuck, my favorite Canadian friend. Hello, sir.
Just call me Butterfingers and get it over with.
Butterfingers? You mean like the candy?
More like, I have this in my hand. Oops, I don't have this in my hand. And where did it go?
So just really quick, Neff was showing me a pretty interesting thing that he picked up. It was like a Kickstarter thing?
Yeah, Kickstarter thing. In fact, I've got the other earbud, so I'm going to show it. May as well, you know.
Okay.
So here we have what looks like a standard earbud for the most part.
Yeah.
As you can see, there are two magnetic little connections there.
Okay.
And what you can see here, let me just turn it this way so you can see it.
Yep, I got it. I'm moving on the screen.
Tiny little boom mic. And what you do, you go like this. Voila! You now have an earbud with a boom mic.
Nice.
Now, what happened before we just got on the air? I had the left one in my hand.
Uh-huh.
And it dropped. So, cue me panicking until I remembered these earbuds have another little trick. That trick is that you can ask the app that comes with these earbuds to ping your earbuds. I.e., you've lost one, let's go find it.
Right.
The problem is, folks, it's somewhere under the table, which means I'm going to have to, once we're done here, go under this table, you know, with my reacher and go, okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I hear the noise. I hear the noise. I hear the noise. There you are.
Somewhere under the table? No.
Oh. Well, that means I'm the scarecrow because I don't have a brain.
Oh.
Hey-oh.
No, but that's very cool. It was one of the things I appreciate is that Neff is always ahead of the curve, looking for these interesting things that will make his life a lot easier, right?
Yeah, especially because I do a lot of work, you know, on the phone, and unfortunately, the last pair of decent wraparound headband type thing that I had, I managed to break them somehow. I don't know how. And I tried gluing them back together, and yeah, that didn't work so good.
Well, as you might see, that you can't see much behind me here tonight. That is if you're watching us. If you're not watching us, we do a lot of show and tell in these first few minutes. So if you want to see what we're talking about, I highly encourage you to watch the video replay on Spotify or YouTube. Look us up, Extreme Anime Radio Podcast. But as you may see, Neff, this is not a plug for a certain company.
Yes, which is rather odd because I'm going, I didn't realize that company made neck pills, but then I'm like, most companies will sell their, you know, name to just about anything these days, so I shouldn't be surprised.
But I am here on my brand new Corsair gaming chair, which it took a little bit to get used to, especially because of the fact with the I'm kind of convinced that they didn't make these chairs for tall people like myself, but I got a good price on it. And basically 50% of the purchase price you get back in an Uber gift card. So that was the deal I got from Newegg for this chair.
It's not bad at all. I mean, when I think about what I spent for mine, I'm going, if I got 50% back in Uber gift cards, I'd be like, I'd have been eating for like half a year, pretty much.
Yeah. But no, this is pretty comfortable. It has a lumbar pillow which you can adjust up and down. So for me, it's kind of a godsend there. I even asked Liz and Neff before I bought the chair. They do fabric chairs and they do leatherette chairs. The one I just had was the leatherette chair. What was your nickname for it, Neff?
It's vinyl. It's literally vinyl. It's leather. It's plastic leather. It's not, I mean, they come up with all these fancy names for vinyl. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, for example, my car has what they call Active X seating. It's vinyl. Like, come on, don't try to make it sound more than it is. It's just vinyl.
So of course I had the last one for a little over 2 years, starting to peel on the edges already on the armrests, and as I'm sure you might have seen or heard me complain previously, the gas pump just decided to give me a sinking feeling. So,
and as I said off air, I said, JR, maybe it's time you lose some weight.
Yeah, exactly. So first night, I feel like I'm a little bit scrunched. So the next day, my dad helps me out. Thank you, Dad, because this chair is not light.
Gee, whatever gave you that idea? Well, a decent chair would be light.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. Well, the other chair I had was some staples, and I could easily manage it. Maybe it's just I'm getting old, and he is too. I don't know.
Well, I'll only tell you the quick story about the chair I'm in right now. Basically, if they hadn't assembled it for me and put it in my car at the time, I would probably have needed like 3 people to put it together.
Oh boy.
I would have just been supervising. It would have been 2 other people putting it together.
But yes, we have the lumbar pillow. I decided to go for the fabric. Guys gave me some good pros about fabrics, especially, if you sit here for a long time, sort of helps you out. And he doesn't get as sticky compared to the vinyl, obviously. And I should know that from sitting in vinyl seats growing up in my dad's Plymouth Voyager. But
been there, done that, have the leg burns.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine shorts and black vinyl that has been sitting in the sun.
Mm.
Especially during the hotter days of the year. You'd sit down and you'd start whimpering. And if you grabbed the metal seatbelt buckled the wrong way, you started cursing.
Yeah. Liz says won't glue to it in the heat. So yeah, exactly what you were saying, Neff.
Mm-hmm.
So
like 30-degree burns on the legs. That's always fun.
So we have the lumbar pillow, and then we also have, I'll grab it over here. This is the original pillow that came with the chair. I'll hold it back here so you can see. But the chair, the way it is in the top, you have to put the pillow at a certain spot, which is a lot lower. And for me, that doesn't work because then I'll be scrunching against below my neck, which I don't think I want. So what did I do? I tried putting this at the top, and these straps are very narrow on the pillow. So I was doing that at the risk of a serious head injury if this came flying off somehow.
That would not be the weirdest injury I've heard of lately.
You've heard worse.
There was a hockey player recently that was going out to dinner, had an accident with a knife.
Oh, God.
Oops. I'm going, how?
Yeah.
How? Even I I'm not that bad, and I'm pretty bad. Let me tell you, folks. Oh,
So yeah, so that's why I got this pillow. It's actually made to go into motor vehicles, but it has the wider strap on the back, and it fits perfectly over this chair. The only thing I got to get rid of is this tag because this tag doesn't look very well on camera. But I literally
well,
just installed it before we went on the air, so.
no, I was going to say it's at least it's not well, it's the tag that probably says "Do not remove until in the hands of the consumer." Okay, it's in the hands of the consumer. Rip.
Yeah. The old California thing. This does not contain any harmful chemicals or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, in California, they're worried about a whole whack of stuff, and I'm going. If I lived in California, maybe I would worry about a whole whack of stuff too. I don't know.
Right. Let's move right along here because I know we started a little bit late due to, we'll just say, unforeseen circumstances. Okay.
Butterfingers. I'll cop to it. Butterfingers. Okay.
This is an anime. We try to make it an anime podcast by talking about topics in the anime industry. And Neff, in the last week, I would say this is a very significant development. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about Amazon and their attempted dub?
Mm-hmm.
I say attempted because anybody at Amazon who thought it would be a good idea to try and use AI to dub an anime, if they thought that was a good idea, and whoever greenlit that idea should be summarily put on a boat. That boat should be thrown into the ocean, and that boat should develop a terminal case of blub, 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 blub.
So on late last week, I believe, Amazon Prime posted the anime series Banana Fish and No Game No Life, and they put AI beta dubs for English and Latin American Spanish. And there was big upheaval, including from a plethora of voice actors. And after a few days, apparently those dubs were taken down. This news is all over Anime News Network, Kotaku, and all these other sites that cover anime news, talking about it. And one of the articles on, I believe it's on Kotaku, has a link to one of these clips from one of the shows, and you can see, and after listening it for a bit, can actually really tell the difference. The speech is just flat. There's no emotion whatsoever. And you know that you don't have to put the audio to an AI filter. You just know it's AI.
Okay, here's the trick, though. For those of us old enough to remember the dubs of the 90s, the English dubs, there were some dubs that came out of a studio in Vancouver known as Ocean.
Ocean
They
Studios.
used a system, Ocean Studios. They used a system they called word flap, I believe it was, that would take the audio recording and force it to match the lip flaps.
Yeah.
This resulted in a dub that sounded insanely flat. In fact, it was derisively called word flat because it would literally make you sound, like you had no emotion at all. This dub, I listened to a bit of it, was worse than that. And the fact that Amazon, again, says, you know what? Actors are unnecessary. We don't need them. We'll just, let the machine handle it.
Right. So some of the voice actors they list here are complaining publicly: Damon Mills, Kara Edwards, Nick Huber, Dawn Bennett, Dave Wallace, Abigail Blythe, among others. Those are some pretty big voice acting names.
And again, some people might say, well, that's self-interest. But I'm saying, look, if you listen to this AI dub, you will know exactly why they're complaining. Because it is trash. There is nothing, no redeeming qualities, except it was probably cheaper than hiring people. And frankly, I said this to people. I said, look, you could get people off the street do a table read.
Mm-hmm.
It would have come out better than this. You know, I could have done this part of this dub, drunk off my butt, and
Right.
done better than AI did, because
Mm-hmm.
AI is just
Right. And let's see. Anime News Network went further as to seek comment from the people or the companies behind No Game No Life Zero, being Kadokawa and Sentai Filmworks. The former being the majority owner of Anime News Network, as it so happens. I'll move you over here, Neff. And yes, they got an answer right away. Kadokawa stated it has, quote, not approved an AI dub in any form. And sources at High Dive, aka Sentai, stated, quote, it was not aware in advance of the AI dub and was looking into it with Amazon. This was over the weekend, a few days before Amazon pulled the dubs.
Now, I will say this. I do not believe for 1 minute that Amazon did this on their own.
Yeah.
Because that would be stupid. Why would it be stupid? Because if there was blowback and the licensor had not even approved this project, Amazon would probably lose every title that licensor had.
Oh, yeah.
So I strongly believe this was a test. Amazon is essentially taking the blame for it, but I believe it was a test by the companies. They've realized now this was a bad idea. They've let Amazon take the flack for it, and they're going, nope, we know nothing about this. We see nothing. We hear nothing. And if you don't understand why I'm doing a bad German accent, look up Hogan's Heroes. For Colonel Klink.
Colonel Klink. Wow, that's a stretch.
Exactly.
Wow. So that's the big anime news. Aside from that, we have releases of my favorite anime right now, and Breeze as well, Rama 1/2 and Uma Musume, and also I'll call it that. Responding to you, Neff, more like Sergeant Schultz. Oh no.
Achtung.
So we're watching Spy Family. In Spy Family, the school bus arc appears to be over, thank goodness. In Rama 1/2, there's all sorts of, what wonderful back and forth fighting going on as usual, as is typical of the Rama 1/2 series. And in Uma Musume, Cinderella Gray, the characters are getting ready for the big Arima Kinen horse race, which is an actual horse race they'll run at the end of this month.
Interesting.
So, the Arima Kinen is basically the Grand Prix. So at the end of the year, the major sports in Japan where you can bet on, the sports that you can bet on legally, they have what's called a Grand Prix. So in the four sports in Japan you can bet on, Neff's favorite, auto racing, which is basically guys on motorbikes. Kading, which is bicycles. Boat race, which is hydroplane boats. And horse racing. In all four of those sports, at the end of the year, end of December, you have the Grand Prix. So it basically falls onto a fan vote. The most popular horses, the most popular people in the other sports are qualified to participate in the Grand Prix. I think in the boat race, it might also have to do with winnings possibly over the year. But I know definitely in Japan, the Arima Kinen is a fan vote, basically.
Interesting. I mean, several other sports do that for their all-star games, etc. But
right,
you kind of get it. It's not. I don't think it's probably the same idea. I have a feeling it's not quite the same. It's not like the popularity vote. For example, one of the more infamous popularity votes that happened during an NHL All-Star game involved the fans deciding we're going to send an enforcer to the All-Star game, John Scott. The thing was, The NHL was so embarrassed by this
Mm-hmm.
that they actually contacted him before the event and said, you know what, maybe you want to be sick for that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He told them to shove it, showed up, and ended up getting MVP.
Wow.
And I mean, after that, he got buried because the league didn't like this. They did not like
Mm-hmm.
this at all. But it was more like, yeah, now we know what the league thinks of the fans, because if the fans want to do X, as long as X isn't illegal, what's the harm? It's
Right.
what the fans want, right? But there are a lot of these major sports that, they just keep thinking, oh, we know better than the fans, except they pay their salaries.
And then there's college football with head coaches leaving one school for another.
Okay, now college football up here is not the big business that it is down there.
Of course, yeah.
But I watch this stuff from up here, and I'm like going, what? In the middle of it's one thing to hire a coach who's not currently employed during the season
Mm-hmm.
to replace a coach you just fired.
Right.
But when you grab a coach who is gainfully employed, I'm sorry, I don't know who's scummier, the coach who jumps or the school that hires him.
Yeah, exactly. It was a big hoopla, and so yeah, that was sort of the news, and the replay playing over and over of the guy hopping onto the plane and him being, getting what we like to call the Bronx cheers. He was heading onto the private jet.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, the Bronx cheers is a polite way of saying, what was actually being said by the fans. Because I would be probably in the same boat going, excuse you?
Yeah.
You want to pull that, son? Get out of town. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
And another quick thing on college football, I saw, because of my work position this past weekend, I was able to pay attention to Michigan, Ohio State, one of the biggest rivalries out there. And wow, Ohio State just ran over Michigan in Michigan. Now, what I find interesting, there weren't any fights big fights like there were last year. If you remember at the end of last year's game, there's obviously this is a big rivalry. There were a few unsportsmanlikes here and there. Somebody removed his helmet. Okay. Other than that, it was more or less appeared to go okay. One of the interesting things I find, Michigan Stadium, where University of Michigan plays, it is one of the biggest stadiums in the world by seating capacity. And there's only one tunnel for both teams. So they have to come out one at a time, and then when they go into halftime, Ohio State has to go in first, and then you see the guys wearing zebra shirts kind of standing in the way of the other team to make sure nobody crosses each other.
I know there were a few hockey arenas that used to be that way.
Oh, really?
And they basically figured, no, that's a bad plan when these arenas were replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, emotions run high, etc. And again, not being a big U.S. college football fan, I can only say, watching this and then watching the reactions of the fan bases, I'm going, okay, I know you like college football down there a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but this makes, the usual hue and cry in pro sports among the, teams that hate each other's guts look like patty cake. Yikes.
So, yeah, that I just noticed that after watching the rivalry for so many years that there's just one tunnel, and it's an old stadium. They've expanded it over the years. I think when it was originally built many years ago, they had the extra land around the original stadium just to expand out. But even so, still one tunnel.
Somebody was saving money. Not a smart way to do it, but they were saving money.
Yep. Let's go back into Japan news here real quick, and maybe a little bit of audience participation here in the chat if you're watching us live right now. One of the major Japanese food apps or food services that do like reviews and reservations, Guru Navi has selected Japan's food of the year. You're going to be seeing a lot of these things in Japan labeled #1 of the year. So this is the food of the year. In a few days, we're going to have the kanji of the year. They're going to release that over in Kiyomizu Dera on a balcony that Brie and I were on a couple of years ago in Kiyomizu. But this is the top food of the year. So would anybody like to take a guess? What is the top food of the year? And just type it into the chat and we'll read your responses. Neff, what do you think would be the top food of the year in Japan as voted by this search website operator?
I want to say something on the simpler side, probably ramen.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We have a vote for rice. We have a vote for steam buns. There's an ad for tips. We'll just wait a minute for a few more responses. But no, this is quite interesting. Always learning new things about Japan. I saw a YouTube video today from Condé Nast about places off the beaten path for you to enjoy, like off the beaten temples, off the beaten ramen places, off the beaten sushi, off the beat Wagyu. There is a restaurant that actually turns a Wagyu dinner into a performance for you.
At the price of Wagyu beef, that performance better be dang good.
I got to look up the name of it later. We have ramen, tuna, taco. I think you meant takoyaki, called it, which is the fried balls and the octopus. Fried octopus and the balls. You know what I mean. But yeah, rice balls. No, it's all good. No, the first option, rice. That is the food of the year, rice. Despite the fact that there was a rice shortage in Japan this year, and they had to go into their reserve, kind of sometimes we tap into our petroleum reserves around here. In Japan, they have rice stockpiles, so they had to tap into that and also import some rice from overseas to meet the demand. Very big staple, rice, obviously. One of the main staples of Japanese cuisine.
Yeah, I'm just actually surprised that they would have like what you call reserves. I'm going, wouldn't rice eventually like go stale? Like, how long could you keep it in reserve?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was, I think it was Lizzie's wife who got it. Yay!
Congratulations.
Yeah. So, despite poor harvest and rising prices, people are increasingly looking for ways to make stockpiled rice taste better. To ensure a stable domestic supply, the government began releasing stockpiled rice for sale. So, the Guru Navi, apparently, according to this news article, selects this dish of the year based on search history on its website and the results of a questionnaire. In second place is the famous green tea called matcha, which we've tried before. And then obviously growing popularity among travelers visiting Japan. We see in the news also that many more places are trying to do more outreach to potential visitors to make sure that they mind their manners. Kyoto, city of Kyoto, I follow their Facebook, and every so often they post something. In the bamboo groves that Bree and I visited 2 years ago, it's almost 3 years now because it was January 23 when we did that trip and we went to Arashiyama. They were showing people carving their initials into the bamboo, and then you go back later and you see the bamboo is dying.
Okay, you
Yeah.
can't see this, folks, but right now my face is like, what in the bloody blue places? And that's a polite way of saying,
Mm-hmm.
huh?
Yeah.
What? What possesses people to okay, it's just I can't wrap my head around that as an activity. Oh, we're
Mm-hmm.
just going to, randomly carve our names into bamboo pole, into bamboo, like growing bamboo. Like, what?
Yeah.
Next
So
thing
it
I know, they're gonna, put barbecue sauce on the Nara deer and just chow down.
that goes into my other topic that they've been talking about, not just Kyoto, but several other major cities, and every so often you see news articles about it. Um, Trash is becoming an issue in major cities, particularly around locations where there are no garbage cans. And in a lot of areas, you're going to find that there are no garbage cans because it is the norm for people after they eat to, if there is no trash around or trash receptacle, to carry their trash with them until they come across one. So Bree and I have had to do that a few times, but yes, maybe they're sensationalizing it a bit, showing pictures of trash cans next to vending machines, which are common, but you're seeing that they're all full to the brim and they haven't been cleaned or anything. So, yes, a lot of places now trying to renew their um, efforts to let foreigners know about these issues.
Mm, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I think as a society around the world, we've gotten to the point where it's like, as long as I'm okay, I don't care about anything else.
Right.
I'm getting this more and more. I mean, as I, for example, drive around, I see coming off the highway, there are, these piles of trash of people, who can't be bothered to just keep it at home. They just open their car door and go thump.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I've seen people do that. I'm like, huh? What, what possesses you to?
There's actually two garbage bags of trash across my street today.
Yikes.
And the fact that the other side of the street is the backyard of a school doesn't
Mm,
help things, you know?
yep. Like I said, I keep saying, I think society slowly and surely, it's like, okay, I think it's a good idea just to stay home. It's safer.
Yeah. Really quick, because I know we want to get back to our Ace Attorney play. Let's go into Neff's manga corner. What are you reading?
Okay, now the trick of it is, I'm reading a bunch of stuff. Now the question is, when do I get a chance to read more? And the problem is, there's multiple series I'm reading where it's like, yeah, I like the series, but it's also like, okay, now this one is a new one, or a new one to me. Lockdown Life with the Class Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it takes an illness, which is pretty much COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and we're at the stage where people are hunkering down and not going out, right? Remote classes, the rest of that.
Yeah.
Now, here's the problem. The class, the angel of the class has a crush on a guy, but she is completely, like, she doesn't know how to, express herself, finds her chance when he can't go back to the student dorms because they're shut down because of the illness, can't go home either because they're sick, and she finds him literally sleeping on a park bench, and
Wow.
she's like, "You can stay with me." And like I said, the way it reads, if you've ever seen Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian, this one I liken it to, and I say, this is Alia San has feelings but expresses them in weird ways, and you're like, oh God, when is she going to finally cross the line? Because she will at some point. She will absolutely do it. It's like you're reading this going, okay. First it's cute, and then it's like, okay, you're scary, girl. You need down, girl, down.
Wow.
It's like, yeah. And then there's another one. I don't think I mentioned this one. my favorite VTuber is scary in real life. Now, this is
VTuber.
about a guy who, yeah, VTuber. And this is about a guy who's a food delivery guy. And one of his customers happens to be this young lady who is quite tall and has a scary look on her face, right? Turns out she's a very much a social introvert because of her height. She's gotten traumatized, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at one point we find out that she had actually, taken up voice acting, got very good at it, but then people were saying, well, you're getting jobs because, you're tall, you're beautiful, blah, 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 which, makes her go back into her shell again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this guy, for some reason, decides, you know what, I want to help this poor woman because she, at one point, because he does do the customer service thing with her, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, this is the first guy who's been nice to me
Right.
in forever, right? So it's actually quite interesting, and it goes into that whole social phobia and fears thing. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
really bad going outside. Like she's at the point now where she goes outside and she's literally shaking,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that interesting bit of you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me vibes of Comey Can't Communicate,
I
but with
see.
much more social anxiety, which is less funny. Like Comey's social anxiety is kind of funny. This is not as funny.
Right.
It's more
More
it
dramatic.
says something. Exactly. That's a good way to put it. More dramatic.
All right. Speaking of Comey Can't Communicate, there's no word still yet on when that new season's coming out, right? Have they said anything?
I I've heard nothing except people, praying and doing all sorts of things and begging Netflix, et cetera, et cetera. Now I found this photo and I don't think I kept it, and I wish I had. Somebody had taken a Comey Neodroid and modified it to look like Freyren. The best part is they took one of the shots is they took the one where Comey has the eyes that do this, and
Oh.
it's dressed like Freyren, and you're going, oh god.
Oh no.
This is when Freyren figures out after 80 odd years, Himmel was hitting on me. Damn it!
Aaron is an anime. I gotta get back, and that's something I've fallen behind on actually.
Yeah, and I think the next season is due. I'm not sure if it's due in the winter or if it's later in 26, but I know it's due soon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely one you want to catch up on, and as I say, catches the second season once it airs.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Um, we're getting close to the top of the hour. A couple of things we want to do. Well, one thing we want to do besides the commentary. Yes, oh yeah, Liz apparently didn't realize there's a new season coming, so Liz knows. Cool, cool. She was the one actually introduced us to that anime, so it's kind of cool to watch. But yeah, I gotta catch up. We have some brand new Sarah art to unveil to you guys tonight. As we get into the Christmas spirit, holiday spirit, whatever holiday you celebrate, we have some new mascot projects of Sarah and Yumemi that are in progress. This art we're going to unveil now. It will be posted on Instagram, on social media later this month as we get closer to Christmas Day. But here is the new artwork right over here. This is Sarah Dancing for Christmas, done by Anthony, who always does an amazing job with the lifelike artwork. So, Neff, what do you think of this Sarah art?
Very nice and very much in tune with the season.
Yes, for sure. So, Anthony, grazie mille. Thank you so much for sharing your talents with us again in collaboration with this artwork. Like I said, we'll be posting this artwork as we get closer to Christmas Day. And I believe Anthony's going to post it on Christmas Day itself. So please look on Instagram. And, well, speaking of which, the Instagram is here. Instagram for the station is at Anime Radio. Instagram for the mascots is at XAR Mascots. And then Neff will tell you the rest of the ways you can follow us.
If you have any questions, concerns, compliments, or complaints about this podcast or any of our Twitch streams, please drop us a line at extremeanimeradio@gmail.com or hit us up on social media. Go to linktree.com/anime radio. There you'll find links to our Facebook page, our Blue Sky account, our Twitch server, and our YouTube channel at Extreme Anime Radio. As JR has already mentioned, we have our Instagram accounts for the station and our mascots. And archived versions of this podcast are available at xarpodcast.net or your favorite podcasting platform.
All right. So always a pleasure. And we previously we did a stream of Flight Simulator. I figured out what the issue is, why it reacted the way it did when I was flying the plane, and I explained it to Neff off air. So if there's a way we can get a skin done or a livery done with the mascots on that plane, we're going to give it another shot. I am now working with a new artist who does flight sim liveries, did an amazing job. And I took the first livery this guy did on a test flight earlier. Everything seemed to work out very well. It's going to be nice. And the next time we do a flight sim stream, we're definitely going to give it a shot. Also, what do we want to do? Truck Simulator, Louisiana DLC, I believe, is already out by now. If it isn't, it'll be out very soon. So they're working on a few more things on that side. And something we're all waiting for is the Road Trip DLC. And they're also going to release Illinois, and they're also going to redo all of the old Route 66. So we could drive all of Route 66 if we wanted to and look at all the interesting quirks that are along the way. So, Neff, hopefully that'll be fun when it comes out.
Yeah, isn't British Columbia due soon, or is it already been released?
Ooh, British Columbia, I think, is on the list. You want to fly to? You want to drive to British Columbia? Okay.
Well, it's the closest It's closest we're going to get in Canada. I mean, they're not going to do Ontario because Ontario, frankly, for truckers, is like, you know, it's not fun at all. Let's put it that way.
So yes, I will. We'll hopefully get a few of these in and a few other games as we approach. We are now under 2 months until XAR turns 25.
Tick-tock.
Exactly. We might have some special events planned for that day, but, you know, we're still 2 months ahead. We still have a lot of planning to do, but we'll see. We'll see what we can pull. Maybe I'll have some news for you later in this month, but yes, it's going to be a very big occasion, and obviously, XAR isn't what it is without your support. So we thank you so much for your support, for watching us, for listening to us, however it is tonight or today, or whenever you're watching, or wherever you're listening. Until next time, remember,
keep on looking out for the Extreme Anime Twitch streams, and don't forget, archives of this podcast are available at xarpodcast.net. That's xarpodcast.net, or your favorite podcasting platform. Good night, everybody.
Good night. We'll see you next time.
We are Extreme Anime Radio.
The Nero Band Station.
Extreme Anime Radio.